Do you want real estate investing to steal your time? Do you want to lose the capacity to buy your next property because you're drowning in management tasks? The answer is simple. Measure your actual management time. Calculate the real cost. Why is this the right approach? This slide explains everything. Let's look at the reality of self-management. Emergency response calls from tenants at unpredictable times. Water leaks, heating failures, noise complaints. Selecting repair contractors. Getting quotes from 3 companies, comparing prices, and supervising the work. Rent collection. Following up on late payments, and in the worst cases, legal proceedings. These hours vary. For properties running smoothly, 5 to 10 hours per month. That's about 60 to 120 hours per year. But during trouble periods or tenant turnover, it can exceed 10 hours per week. Individual investor surveys show this variability is the reality. If your hourly rate is $50, that's $3,000 to $6,000 per year on average. In trouble-filled years, it's more than double that. This is reality based on actual data from individual landlords. This isn't a hypothesis. It's an established pattern many investors have faced. And this is measurable. Track the time you spend on management for 90 days. Calculate your hourly value. Make decisions based on measured data for each property. This frees you to focus on acquiring your next property. Today, I'll show you that break-even point. Are property management companies expensive? Let's look at the real cost. Monthly management fees typically run 8 to 10% of rent. But there's more than this. Let's take a $1.500 monthly rent as an example. Monthly management fee, $120 to $150. Annually, $440 to $800. This is the visible part. But what happens during tenant turnover? New tenant placement fees. That's 50 to 100% of rent. For a $1.500 property, that's $750, $500 at once. Plus, some contracts include renewal fees and repair coordination fees. When you add everything up, the real cost is around 12 to 14% of annual rent. For $1.500 monthly rent, the reality is $2, $190 to $300 annually. This is the total cost of a management company. Compare using total annual cost, not the apparent 10%. The true cost of self-management isn't just the management company fee. There are 3 hidden costs. First, time value. 5 to 10 hours per month during stable periods. 60 to 120 hours per year. If your hourly rate is $50, that's $3,000, $6,000 in annual opportunity loss. In years with accumulated troubles, it's more than double that. With this time, you could search for your next property, negotiate financing, and expand your assets. Second, stress. Emergency response calls at unpredictable times. Legal disputes with tenants. This can't be measured in numbers, but it erodes your health. Burned-out landlords exit real estate investing. Third, lack of expertise. When contractor selection or specification details are weak, repair costs balloon significantly compared to competitive bids. You pay fines for legal violations. Maximum penalty of about $25,000 even for first-time violations. Inefficient repairs cause tenants to leave. When you add up these 3 costs, management company fees become a rational investment. So what does a management company provide? 5 areas of value. First, expertise. Laws, contracts, dispute resolution. They're proficient in all of these. What would take you years to learn, they practice daily. Second, 24-hour response. Unexpected water leaks. Heating failures on Christmas. They handle it. You can sleep. Third, legal compliance. For U.S. rentals, compliance with anti-discrimination and safety regulations like the Fair Housing Act is mandatory. Rules vary by country, state, and municipality. Maximum fine of about $25,000 even for first-time violations. Litigation risk exists too. They ensure strict compliance with all of this. Fourth, contractor networks. Reliable plumbers, electricians, painters. Long-term relationships mean rapid response. Quality is consistent too. Fifth, tenant recruitment. They minimize vacancy periods. They conduct thorough credit checks. They avoid problem tenants. These 5 areas of value. This is what management company fees really are. So where is the break-even point? Let's look at the right way to think about this. The break-even point isn't determined by number of properties alone. Judge based on 4 factors. First, your measured management time. Track it for 90 days. How many hours per month does each property take? Multiply by your $50 hourly rate. You get your annual opportunity loss. Second, the management company's total annual cost. Not just monthly management fees. The total including tenant placement fees, renewal fees, and everything else. Third, property distance. If it's within 30 minutes from home, response is easy. If it's more than 30 minutes, especially in a different city, consider outsourcing. Fourth, your main job's busyness. Your main job enters a busy period. At that time, can you spare time for management? Judge these comprehensively. Actual investor surveys show many choose outsourcing at 2 to 5 properties. The reason isn't property count, but distance, time, and cash flow capacity. Let's determine your break-even point with data. But you don't need to delegate everything. There's a hybrid model. Pattern 1. Geographic distribution. Self-manage nearby properties. If it's a 10-minute drive, response is easy. Delegate distant properties. If it's a 3-hour flight, a management company is essential. Pattern 2. Gradual transition. Self-manage new properties for the first year. Learn the system. Identify problem areas. Then delegate to a management company. This lets you evaluate their work. Pattern 3. Selective delegation. Delegate daily management, rent collection, minor repairs, tenant communication. Major repairs remain your decision. For work over $10,000, you make the final call. Pattern 4. PropTech utilization. Use modern property management apps. Automate rent collection. Digitize contract renewals. Communicate through online portals. This cuts self-management time by more than half. For about 3 properties, apps are sufficient for management. This option is worth considering before full outsourcing. However, even with management company delegation, oversight is necessary. Review reports quarterly. Check the financials. If there are problems, address them immediately. The hybrid model. This is the strategy of many successful landlords. So how do you select a good management company? 5 criteria exist. First, track record. Minimum 5 years of experience. Management experience with your property type. Does occupancy rate stay at or above market standards for the same area and class? There's no universal correct answer. Judge based on local reality. Second, transparency. Monthly reports. Detailed breakdown of all expenses. Are not just monthly management fees, but also leasing fees, renewal fees, and other additional costs clearly stated? Are there hidden fees? Scrutinize the contract. Third, communication. Do they respond to your emails within 24 hours? Do they inspect properties regularly? Do they respond quickly to tenant complaints? Fourth, local knowledge. Do they understand market rents? Do they understand the tenant demographic? Are they familiar with local regulations? Fifth, technology. Do they have an online portal? Can you check financial status in real time? Do they support electronic payments? These are proof of transparency and efficiency. A management company that clears these 5 criteria. That's your long-term partner. Now let's organize today's key points. Today's summary. First, measure the reality of self-management. 5 to 10 hours per month during stable periods. $3,000, $6,000 in annual value. But during trouble periods or tenant turnover, it exceeds 10 hours per week. Track the time you actually spend over 90 days. Multiply by your hourly rate. This is your actual opportunity loss. Second, understand the management company's real cost. Monthly management fees appear to be 8 to 10% of rent. But when you include tenant placement fees and renewal fees, the reality is 12 to 14% of annual rent. For $1, $500 monthly rent, that's $2, $190 to $300 annually. Compare using total annual cost. Third, determine judgment criteria with data. 3 properties is just a guideline. Compare measured time times hourly rate with total annual cost. For properties more than 30 minutes from home, consider outsourcing regardless of property count. If you automate rent collection and contract renewals with PropTech apps, the burden is light for about 3 properties even with self-management. Let's determine your break-even point with data. How many hours per month are you currently spending on management? Have you tried PropTech tools? Share your strategy in the comments. Your management method, your questions, your success stories. Everything becomes wisdom for this community. Thanks for investing your time with me today. Optimizing property management is the key to asset expansion. This channel breaks down specific real estate investment strategies with numbers. Next, property purchase, financing strategies, tax advantages. You can learn everything systematically. Subscribe and let's build your real estate empire together. Until next time.